Well, hello, my beautiful descendants. How are you all doing today? So we are on Dev Note number 14. This one is talking about the big update that's coming in October 10th, and it has seemed to have a couple updates that are coming in by tomorrow as well. So this one's kind of going over Ultimate Freyna and her exclusive story, just like how Bunny has one and everything. It's also talking about new Freyna's module, which is an exclusive toxic mixture and venom injection. So that's going to be very interesting. So with the toxic mixture, Freyna's passive skill contagion links to change to a toxic mixture. Interesting. When equipped, this skill module will trigger necrosis instead of room 0 trauma. As enemies gain more stacks of necrosis, your attack increases when you shoot at them. And if an enemy reaches max stacks, your firearm critical hit ratio also increases. So this will be pretty good to have if you're going a base gun damage kind of play style. Not too bad. And then the venom injector defense mechanism is changed to venom injection. Venom injection consumes resources to recover your shield and increases skill power modifier, which inflicts corrosion on enemies. Inflicted with corrosion suffer reduced toxic resistance, making them more vulnerable to Freyna's toxic attacks. So this is kind of like a buff to help do more damage to your basic attacks rather than just getting you armor shield. Honestly, I don't think I'm really going to mess with this one. I kind of like the extra armor, but the toxic mixture will be quite nice, especially for that extra weapon damage if you're doing a weapon damage kind of setup with her, which will be very good on Colossus fights. Haley's exclusive module, Super Cold, Coopia Round, and Crypto Cluster Shoot will be added. So Haley's finally getting some modules because at the moment she does not have any reds, if I am correct. If I'm wrong, don't crucify me, but you know. So they got the Super Cold Coopia Round, which uses the unique weapon, reduces firearm attack and fire rate, but increases weak point damage in return. Also, successful weak point attacks recover your shield instead of your MP. The increase in weak point damage decreases on firing the unique weapon, but increases again on successful. So this one's kind of a mess. So it lowers your initial firearm attack and firearm rate, but you get stronger weak point damage, but it goes down. But then goes back up upon hitting successful weak points. And instead of giving you MP on hits, it will increase shields. And since shield really isn't that big in this game anyways, I feel like this will be like a dead mod. Maybe something to play around with, but I don't think it's going to be very well used. Cryogenic Cluster Shot. The cryo effect is changed to cryogenic. Using a firearm to attack an enemy inflicted with cryogenic deals additional AoE damage to nearby enemies, making this a useful skill module for clearing common monsters. This one I feel like would be the one that's used. This one I don't really see a whole lot of use. Maybe in some bossing, but for the most part I don't think it's really worth it. But the cryogenic cluster is apps will probably become meta because it has a nice AoE damage thing, so it'd be great for mob clearing and all that. And as a general one, not too bad. You don't necessarily need to have it for your colossal fight build per se, but pretty much everywhere else in the game that will be pretty much the main one used for her out of the two. In addition, they're adding new modules to improve your builds, following additional modules to improve shield utilization. That's pretty crucial because at the moment shields are basically just nothing. Everyone is literally giving up shield for more HP or literally anything else. So this will be on September 26th, which would be today. So interesting. We're adding modules that boost skill power on firearm attack instead of critical hits on October 10th to increase the use of weapons and descendants that have low critical hit rates. That will be interesting. Although I feel like that will only be really good for like weapons like the Thunder Cage that already have a high crit. It will boost them even higher, while making other ones like Python maybe viable for a crit build, but if anything, it's pretty much just going to make crit builds even stronger. So we got the Deathstalker coming in. That's going to be interesting. While the enemy wreaks havoc, a new Colossus. Oh, it's a new Colossus fight. Oh my gosh. So that is the new Colossus coming in on October 10th. Pretty sure that's going to be the one that's above Gluttony, which I still need to mess around with, but that will be the new one coming in. It has appeared in the void and is approaching Ingus Stalker living within vents, darkness of the void. Okay, so a little bit of bio with them, but that's a new look at the new Colossus fight. I'm hoping they do a lot more mechanical wise because of the gluttony. They made it where he does stupid high damage. You have to have very high damage to even beat him within the 10 minutes, and his mechanics are kind of It's very so hopefully we have a little bit more fun mechanics to work with on this one, but we'll see when that comes around. We got the new weapon, the Frost Watcher, coming in, which is a chill weapon, funny enough. So it's a scout rifle that was designed to build in a chill arcade catalyst to allow anyone to fire cryogenic bullets. But that cold power wasn't something anyone could wield. The Frost Watcher's chill arcade could course through the entire body of its user and slow their movements. So basically using this weapon will slow down the more you fire it. So that'll be interesting. I guess just because, you're cold, you are going to move a little bit slower. And very well, Descendants and Albion could handle being in such states. It's true, there's only 2 of them that had chill. But if a Descendant can handle it, so basically the Haley and Viessa, Frost Watcher can provide them with the most cold-hearted skill in battle, especially as a cryogenic arc user like Haley. There we go, right there, perfecto. Will benefit from the metabolic boost causing by the Frostwalker's refrigerated that surrounds her rifle. So that's interesting. So this weapon is basically, you can use it on anybody, but it's mainly built towards more of a chill-based Descendant. So Viessa and Haley will be the main ones that will benefit the most out of this. But overall, it can be used by anybody, but it will slow you down if you are not a chill-using Descendant. That's kind of cool that they're adding that to the game. Weapons that are exclusive to certain ones can be used by anybody, but there are cons if you aren't within that specific types. That's cool. It's cool. Something new. They added the highest difficulty infiltration operations. I'm curious to see what that means. Does it mean there's a higher level than hard mode, or is there something else being added? It could be completely going over my head, to be honest, like all straight up over. But we'll see. The fact that it says highest difficulty infiltration operations. Curious what that means. We'll see when we get into game. October 10th, we'll be also introducing a new 400%. Oh, okay, that's what it means. Holy crap. That's freaking crazy. We'll be out here, like some of us ones that aren't maxed out, might be sweating a little bit on that one. Infiltration operations with more monsters and loot to enjoy. You can choose a 400% operation infiltration with the infiltration event and continue to participate in events. 400% infiltration operations feature a greater number of monsters and enhanced monsters than other dungeons, allow you to fight endless battles. And holy crap. So that so for those that can actually withstand this would be a great way to gain XP for your Descendant and your weapons, since you get XP based off the enemies you kill. So the fact that it could be endless could be a new XP form coming into the game. The final battle, which pits you against 2 named monsters at the same time, is a unique feature. That is a unique feature. So instead of having just the one boss to fight, you'll be fighting 2 bosses at the same time, kind of like how some of the Void Intercept, the Void Shard thingamabobbers, because sometimes you'll fight one boss and sometimes you fight 2. This will be kind of something similar to that, except there'll be bosses, so this will be a little bit more you have to deal with. With more monsters appearing, you'll be able to plunder a downloads of 40% infiltration operations. This includes exclusive currency obtainable only. Oh, exclusive currency. Hello, we got a new currency coming into the game. Interesting. Obtained only in the 400% infiltration operations. What the flip was that? Okay, sorry about that. I got a new phone recently and it was making weird noises and it threw me off. Okay, so where was that at? So that's gonna be interesting. So it's which can be used to obtain special items and be traded at ETO. So basically who ETAO is. Every Friday to Sunday, a mysterious merchant, ETAO, visits Albion. The days may vary depending on your time zones, but he'll basically be there for those 3 days. He offers different list of goods each week consisting of Descendant blueprints, weapon blueprints, materials, inventory expansions. This one will be huge. For anyone that's hit like max endgame, you know, got your descendants, got your weapons, this will be massive. And then this will also be good for the, you know, cosmetics and stuff. So those two will probably be the biggest for late endgame players. For everyone else who's still grinding weapons or new to the game, whatnot, blueprints and descendant ones will be the kind of go-to for it, which required standard ETO vouchers or premium ETA vouchers to trade. So premium one, that's probably the pay the way, and this is the grind way. For the free-to-play players. This is my guess. I'm not exactly sure, but I figured that'd be the best way to explain it off just kind of looking at it. The fact that it's premium probably means you have to pay if you don't want to grind these dungeons. And so kind of a downer. I wish they really kept it. The ETO vouchers, you have to do this. I get people would complain because they go like, oh, these vouchers are so hard. It's gone like, why is it so hard? I can't do it. It's gone like, all I can say about that is just get good. Get better. There's ways to get stronger. If you don't want to grind, I mean, that's up to you. But if you want the better loot, you gotta grind for it. So, but either way, that's just my intake. Not flopping anyone, but if you guys want to pay, it's whatever. It's your guys' money. But that's just my guess. Because I don't know how else you would get premium other than getting special loot off of doing it at a faster speed. So I'm just guessing premium ETA vouchers would be the pay to way we'll do it. But you know, we'll see as when the game update comes out. Besides that, we got a Halloween event coming through, which is pretty nice because we're not even in October yet. So, man, they're ahead of the curve on that one. So they got some Halloween set skins and stuff coming in through the game and whatnot. Which doesn't look too bad. Honestly, none of it looks good, in my opinion. Like, the hairstyle is kind of cool. Maybe. She kind of looks like an old lady in that one, not gonna lie. Not too bad. And I'm not a fan of those hairstyles. So, honestly, I'm not a big fan of it, but some people might. Look into the spooky Halloween sets. We'll see how it goes. And the rest of additional season 1 updates, they got resource defense special operations. They have been unemployed compared to the mine blocks. When you want to address the issue of reactor farming, I have not addressed that issue because oh my gosh, that's a mess. But when we want to address the issue, reduce the inconvenience of having to farm a new ultimate reactor every time you switch to a new weapon. We're introducing a reactor implant system. That's going to be interesting. This system will allow you to implant the weapon optimization conditions of other ultimate reactors to your current ultimate reactor. An ultimate reactor can have up to 3 weapon optimization conditions. Oh, that is absolutely massive. We take those. So instead of having, like, if you get a really, really good reactor, but it's for like Thunder Cage, but you're not using the Thunder Cage. You switch to the Python, or you're using the Secret Garden, or you're using Greg's Revenge. You don't get the effect of that. So now you can add up to 3 of the same one. Now, I don't know if it's like the same thing where you have to switch between them, or it just adds the condition to it. Now, if it just adds the condition to it, that'd be freaking crazy. You can freely implement weapon optimization conditions based on your weapon settings. With this, you can no longer have to farm. Okay, so I'm hoping what this means is like you can add it to it. So if you find a really good reactor for like Thunder Cage, but again you're using a Python, you can find a Python one and just implement to it, and then so you'll say using Thunder Cage and Python. So that way, no matter which one you're using, you still get the bonus effect. Now that would be absolutely crazy because, like, for me, I'd probably do like Thunder Cage, Secret Garden, Greg's Revenge. Just like an example. And so for me, I'd probably do those 3 because those would be the main weapons. I'd maybe Enduring Legacy. I don't really know, but definitely Thunder Cage and Secret Garden. That's the third one. I don't know. And then so if I have any of those 3 on, it'll have that effect, which would be absolutely massive. But we'll see. We'll see as the thing goes in. But not too bad of an update. Pretty cool. Hope you guys did enjoy this little dev drop update. I know it's been a minute since I've done one of these. I've actually missed a few. But I'm trying to kind of get back in the swing of things. I've been dealing with a lot IRL and trying to figure out some new stuff to streaming, set up for stream. So either way, I will catch you guys in the next video. Until then, Phoenix out.